I think everybody needs their failures to learn. I mean, so I don't regret any of it, but I just didn't know what I was doing. I, literally showed up to a desk and that was that.
I'm super excited about this. I'm sitting here today with Brent Anderson. Brent is from our Lakes area region. You work technically out of our Nisswa office location. You joined us about a year and a half ago, and that was kind of like you didn't have a choice because REMAX Results acquired REMAX Lakes Area Realty about a year and a half ago, and Brent came over with that acquisition. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And last year, you were number 4 for top individuals. Out of our top 10 individuals, you were number 4. Out of 1,300 agents, number 4 in commissions earned. Way to go! That's quite impressive. So it was fun to see you walk across the stage at the last Results Awards for the first time. Hopefully, you'll come back. So thanks for joining me.
Yes.
Let's just dive right in. So how long have you been selling real estate?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've been with REMAX and selling real estate, I think, for 20 years this year.
Did you work anywhere else before REMAX?
Real estate, no.
Okay. What were you doing before?
I was a sous chef at a resort called Grandview Lodge.
You were?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. I didn't know that. So you cook?
I enjoy cooking, yes.
Okay. What's your specialty?
Meat, steaks.
Okay. Any secrets? I struggle. I set off fire alarms last time I made steaks.
I do that still house. Too. But
so I tried to do the whole reverse searing.
It's the best way to cook them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
Okay. So you were a sous chef at Grandview Lodge. Cool.
Yes.
And who influenced you to get into real estate? Well, how did you make that shift?
I would say a lot had to do with my father. Mm-hmm. He invested in real estate, and he kind of pushed me into it a little bit when I was younger. When I was younger when I got into it, but.
Mm-hmm. Your dad was an investment.
Yeah, I mean he's had businesses, and he'd buy investment land and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I'd be out partying with my friends, sleeping in late at his house, and he'd be like, "Hey, I just paid my realtor $5,000. Why don't you go get your real estate license?" And and then I actually was out on Gull Lake with some people. One day partying, and there was a local family of realtors up there, and I was talking with one of their kids that's no longer in the business, but they had a big influence up there, and he kind of told me what he was doing, and I came home and said, "Dad, I'm going to real estate
You're getting into real estate." Did you mentor with someone, or who?
I did not, and I wish I would have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just hit it running at REMAX on your own. You must have... how did you get to where you are today?
It took a long time.
Okay.
I would say a lot of doing nothing for a very minimal amount of business for many years.
So that leads me to a question that I do sometimes like to ask is advice. When listeners of the show, especially those that are newer into real estate, and they, Brent Anderson, you're kind of, famous at REMAX Results, number 4,
Yeah.
Well, how did you do it? What's one piece of advice to those that are maybe newer in the industry that you did and they really shouldn't do?
I think everybody needs their failures to learn. So I don't regret any of it, but I just didn't know what I was doing. I, literally showed up to a desk and that was that. And,
mm-hmm.
I don't even know, the first handful of years, 5, 10, 15 transactions every year to where I got to about, I would say 30 transactions mm-hmm. consistently for many years, and just kind of got, bored and stuck in the business to where, hey, I'm doing what I do, and this is what I do, and there's nothing more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you have any goals for the next year?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I guess one of my goals would be to Shift, not only shift, but my goals primarily are focused on business and financial. I do have family, spiritual, and personal goals that I don't spend as much time on. So I'd maybe like to focus in that direction a little bit more. Yeah.
Good for you. Good. What is your, you're in the Brainerd Lakes area. So we were talking about this, Brent and I were talking about this before the camera was rolling. And I want you to talk a little bit more about the amount of people that you work with up that are purchasing homes up there that are maybe second homes or cabins. It's obviously, a little bit of a different market than the Twin Cities. So what percentage of your business would you say are clients like that are relocating or adding second homes or?
Yeah, I would say at least 50% are either relocating, and then obviously since COVID, we have people actually relocating full time. And then, a lot of people from this area and other areas that have their second homes up there. So I would say that would be a big difference is that, it's a lot of times our homes are vacant or they're empty. So it may be harder to contact potential sellers and
you're seeing a lot of influx of people from cities.
All different, from the cities. And now with COVID, I mean, we've got people coming from DC, we've got people coming from California. I mean, just where you didn't see it at as often, and now it's...
And it hasn't slowed down. Is it still a lot of influx from, or has it slowed down?
I mean, of course it's slowed down, with everything, whether it be buyers and sellers alike. So it slowed down some, but there's still very high demand of buyers and sellers. And
so would you say that you have a specialty a niche that you?
Really, I specialize in my core area. Whether it be lakeshore investment properties, first homes, or not so much first homes anymore, but still work with a lot of first-time home buyers, but primarily lake home buyers, lake home sellers in that Nisswa, Cross Lake, Brainerd, Baxter area is Aiken. Is really the Crosby area is my specialty. I just kind of know that market like the back of my hand.
Do you have referral partners here in the Twin Cities too?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. What's the largest sale that you've ever done? The last summer we were doing an awards thing on Gull Lake for the Lakes area.
Oh, really?
And you were there.
Okay. Yes.
Weren't you? I think you were.
Yeah, I was.
We were. You guys. It was the Pat Weebush, who's the former broker owner of REMAX Lakes Area Realty. It was a tradition of his, and of course we maintain those traditions when we acquire.
Great. It's really nice.
And so there were a bunch of us on a boat on Gull Lake, and I think it was your wife Danny I was talking to, and just she's pointing out this house, and there's a lot of like amazing real estate up there. I mean, not just on Gull Lake, but that's one piece.
Yeah.
What's one of the biggest sales or transactions that you've done?
$2-3 million in that price range. I mean, $2 million's become common. Last year, I was grateful enough to be invited in on a listing appointment with another results agent, Jill, and on about a $3 million listing, a little north of our area, and we're able to secure the buyer on that as well. So that was fun. Yeah,
that's cool. So you, on the occasions that I get to visit the Lakes area, and when I'm in the Nisswa office, which is your office, you're always there. And I hear from Pat, our regional manager up there, and others that's you're a go to the office almost daily kind of guy, and that's great, and that I think that says a lot to how you've reached the success you've reached.
Yeah.
So, talk a little bit about a day in the life of Brent. Like, are you, you must be disciplined, or do you have your systems? Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would. So I guess kind of going back to like how I got to where my business is currently at. So like I said, I kind of floated in the business doing that 30 transactions for a long time, I would say. Something changed in my mindset that I wanted more, that I could have it all again and actually produce and become and build and do whatever that is. And I think it was in 2015 or 16. And with that, I formed a daily routine that I think has put me my business where it's at today.
Yep.
I think this can go back to your question of what can these new agents do or whatnot as well.
Yeah,
and they don't have to do anything, but this is kind of what happened for me and how it worked. All right, I decided I need to get healthy. I decided I needed to start going to the gym. I decided I need to start reading books. I decided that I needed to just start learning and really wanting, setting goals, which I didn't do any of those things prior to about 2016. So since then, I wake up every single day between 4 or 4:30 in the morning. I do for me, it's a very high intensity workout.
At 4:30 a.m.
I get up at that time. The workout's at about 5:30.
Okay, every day?
Every day, yep.
Wow, okay.
Not on the weekends.
Okay,
maybe
you give
Saturdays.
yourself a break, okay.
Yeah, and it's usually in a class setting.
Yeah.
With a few other handful of other people.
That alone, that says.
But yep, do that every single day, and really what that does is that just gets my mind right and ready for the day. And at that time, and early in the morning as well, I consume books and pretty much personal development books. And
what's one of your favorites? Or something that you've recently...
Interesting. The books I read are the exact same books I've been reading since I started this new business. And there's probably about 5 or 6 of them. And some of them I would say I've read 1,000 times. And the other ones maybe I read once or twice a year, but I just continue to repeat it and beat it into my head.
Oh, can you name some?
Oh, yeah. So I would say, Magic Believing by Claude Bristow is a great book. That's one book that I either read or listen to every single day. That book I've probably read over 1,000 times. Wow. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Is that?
Yep.
Is it Joseph Murphy?
I've heard of it. I'm seeing a pattern emerge here.
Yep. Letting Go by Dr. David R. Hawkins. Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Think and Grow Rich. I usually read that once a year. And that's really, there might be a couple other ones, but really just those books over and over and over again. And some of them you can get more out of others. And so I think
it's
that's
interesting.
A big thing.
Those really are personal development, not so much real estate related.
No.
Yeah.
One book that I did read actually at the very beginning of me kind of changing my business was, is it Miracle Morning.
Oh, yeah. Mike Meyer?
I don't know. I want to say like a Hal something. Okay. Sweet. I don't know what it is, but
we can edit this part.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So that book I only read once, but that book helped me with the morning routine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Of getting up and getting going and making things happen.
Yeah, that one was. We had people had formed like accountability groups around that book.
Yeah,
I remember that was
a good
kind
book.
of a.
And actually, I think I read it for the second time after like 5 years, maybe last year or something.
Cool. That's really cool. So you're disciplined, and you're constantly working on. You're like never stop improving yourself. What about systems?
Systems.
What do you do to generate? Let's drum up some business today.
Yeah,
I'm going to go in and what do you do?
Really, I think it all really has. I think it all kind of goes back to your mindset on what your goals are and what you think about all day long is what you're going to actually attract. Mm-hmm. I also journal. That's a big part of my morning routine. When I get to the office, I journal pretty much every day. Used to be every day, and sometimes you slack, but
you're the first person that I've had on the show that has mentioned that.
Yeah, and that's big. Journaling. So there's different things you can write, and you write them every day. And kind of like those books, you just keep doing those books, keep writing the same thing every day. Whether it's you're taking X amount of listings, or doing X amount of deals, or helping so many people, or things that you're grateful for, and you just. I think could be awesome. A show on itself is just what you can journal
that's awesome. I love that.
And then going back to your system. So from there, then I do my day in the morning. So while I'm in the office, for sure all morning, and if not, all day, I'm either looking for business. So whether I'm contacting past clients, current clients, writing contracts, looking for new business, new clients, and then in the afternoons, I try to set my appointments and go on appointments in the afternoon.
Okay. So when you say looking for new business, that's you're prospecting. So are you
just talking to people? You
like to pick up the phone?
Typically, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Do you do any kind of marketing, like farming, direct mail, anything like that? Or
yeah, I do. I do. Some direct mail, every door direct mail.
Yep.
That's not. It's an okay way to get your name out there, but your phone, at least, typically isn't just going to ring because you put 1,000 postcards in the mail. But we do that. It helps get listing exposure.
I would imagine most of your business now is just referrals, past clients, that sort of a thing.
Yeah, I would say 60 to 70% of it, and the rest of it you've got to dig for.
What do you see yourself doing 5 years from now?
Yeah, and in the past I've said unrealistic 10. When I say unrealistic, that's fine if you get halfway there. But unrealistic 10 and 5-year goals.
When I asked you earlier if you would set goals, you said, of course. Without hesitation. So are they... Which
I never did.
Are they more short-term or long-term? Are they more, this month I'm going to do this, by next quarter I'm going to do that, end of this year this is more, what some people believe those short-term goals are more achievable, because if you can't achieve them, then you're going to kind of become...
I think it's something a matter of... I think if you set that goal and you think about it every single day and continue to review it in your mind and actually put yourself already achieving that goal in the future, see yourself feel what it would feel like to achieve that goal, it's automatically set. So I think if you can somehow get into that, the mindset of already achieving what you set, every single goal that you're going to write down, you're going to achieve. And I think the hard part is actually now setting new goals, because you're going to, I think, eventually set these unrealistic goals, and all of a sudden you've set them. It's like, well, all I did was write it down, and then you're making it come to pass.
Is there, circling back on your journaling, is there a theme to your journaling?
Yes.
Or there is?
Yep.
Is it real estate no,
not at all.
And
it could be. I mean, like, because there's goals. There's goals within that journaling as well, and that could be real estate related.
Could it just be a sentence, or is it 2 pages?
It's a page a day.
It's usually a page a day. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, it might be a half a notebook page a day.
Do you go back and review that journal, or is it just something to get out of
your head? No, and it's typically the same thing every day until those things come to pass, and then all of a sudden you're writing something different.
Oh, interesting.
Your gratitude and stuff is more on a daily, so you might write things.
You write what you're grateful for.
Yeah, exactly, and that might change from day to day.
Yep. A past interview on the show, I wish I remembered who it was. That was one thing. Oh, I think it might have been Megan Wilson in our Duluth Superior territory, where she said, I ask myself three things I'm grateful for every day. So
that's great.
Yeah. So, all right. Share something about yourself that maybe listeners, that you want people to know about you that don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet. That's all right that they don't know.
You do. You keep to yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of you're private. That might come off as snobbish. I'm just kidding.
You think so? Maybe.
I'm kidding. I've got the Dave in the background laughing. No, so you are quiet, but should share a little side or something. Maybe you want, fellow associates to know about you, or potential clients maybe listening.
Yeah. Well, I guess, I love buying and selling homes with clients. I also purchase a lot of homes. I build homes. I develop property, split lots. It's just, I enjoy the entire process. The first couple homes that I've built was physically hands-on, hanging the sheetrock, framing the walls with help of people that knew what they're doing.
Sure.
But I guess I really feel that I can help people that want it, the process of, selling their homes and or buying homes, because, I've physically been able to replicate and do that process over and over again. Yep. And whether it be maximizing the sale price of their home by, splitting it into multiple lots, or bringing in, developers or investors to actually do what maybe they're not willing, time, financially able to do. Yeah. And just kind of have that vision to, maximize the use of their home and or real estate.
Okay. That's good to know. What's some advice that you have for maybe people? Again, we talked about it a little earlier, but I want to circle back on newer agents to the business. What's something that took you, unfortunately, you said 5 years or so to figure out.
At about that same time of my career shift, I do not listen to the radio. I do not watch TV. I really cut out all the noise. I don't have any concern about what anybody else is doing. I'm literally just laser focused on what myself or my clients are trying to accomplish. So I would say try to just
avoid distractions.
Distractions. I mean, you can get caught up on, TV and Facebook and things that it can all be beneficial as well, but I think most of it is a waste of energy or thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's great feedback. What are you doing outside of selling real estate?
Yeah, not
besides
a ton.
Working out at 4:35 in the morning.
Yeah, so I enjoy that. I enjoy a workout, but
kids.
Yeah, so. Most of my time is involved in real estate, whether it's for business or personal projects. And I enjoy that. I really do, whether it's business or personal things that we've got going on. I've got a beautiful wife of 10 or 15 years, probably 14, 13 maybe. I've got a
typical male. I don't know the anniversary.
And I'm gonna ask Danny. An awesome young boy that's 11 and a beautiful daughter that's 7. Okay. So we spend a lot of time at a little ski hill, which is right down the road from our house, called Ski Gull. We're kind of starting to get into some family ski vacations, which is a good activity that we can all be part of. We mountain bike Crosby Cuyuna trails, which is just to the east of us, are I think some of the best mountain bike trails in
the state.
For sure, the state, Midwest. So that's very fortunate. Other than that, we spend a lot of time on the lake when we can. Okay. And then, we do enjoy cooking and eating good food and things of that nature.
I hope Danny makes you do most of the cooking.
Yeah, I think we both play a good role in that. She probably does more, maybe not. I don't know.
The sous chef. I mean, come on. So thanks again, Brent, for coming on the show and driving down to the Twin Cities to sit with us here today. Is there anything in closing that you'd like to share? Any final thoughts? Yeah, I would say for any agents out there listening, if there's anything I can do to help you with your real estate business, I'd be happy to hear from you. And if there's anything that you think you could help me better from, I'd be all ears and willing to help. And then I guess for all the sellers and property owners out there and buyers alike looking to buy or sell property, if there's sellers that want to know how I can help them net the most amount of money for the sale of their property, I'd be happy to talk with them. And if you're even looking to just begin your real estate career, I'd be happy to chat with you in terms of how to buy that first home or first investment property. Wonderful. What's the best way for them to reach you? I would say the best way is either my email or phone. Phone number is 218-838-1399. Email is brent.anderson@results.net. Otherwise, you can always find me at the Nisswa office. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, thanks again for having me.